Howdy, partner.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of that. There's a message that popped up on my screen for a second, and I was just like, what is that saying? Welcome to this week's episode of The Theme Park Guys. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, I'm just going to come right out the gate and say, this is going to be an interesting week. It's been a whirlwind of a week, let me tell you. So there's no telling what could happen this evening.
What are you talking about?
I'm in rare form. I've had a very stressful and emotional week. Yeah, I'll just jump right into it. I know you do really well handling these heavy conversations.
My favorite part of the episode. Oh, wait. Let's do the tease, okay? This week, we are creating our own theme park lands.
Yes.
And we're going to judge each other. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to help each other finish and flesh out our ideas and really try to support each other as much as we can.
Oh, that was nice.
So we're going to talk about, like, if we could create a theme park land just from our imaginations, from pulling things we know, things that have been done, haven't been done. We're going to see just what that looks like in our minds.
Like and also utilizing, at least this is what I did, some of my favorite things.
I kind of just went for like something cool.
Of course.
Yeah. I have good ideas. Mine, I think, are just a teaser, have never been done before. Well, one is inspired by something that has been done before. One has absolutely never been done or tried, and I think it's going to catch on. Okay. So just mark this episode, because 30 years from now when these parks exist, we all know where they started.
Both of mine have, in some capacity, both of mine are represented in theme parks already in some capacity. So
rinse and repeat.
Not necessarily. I just expanded.
You just redid you're not going to say it's like, oh, give me Pandora, but let's move the mountains a little bit to the right.
No.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
All right, that was the tease.
I'm going to be judged because that's what...
I'm not going to judge. I said we're going to support each other because this is not what creative. This is a creative episode. It's not really an opinion episode, and it takes no brain power. I don't know many
things that Hunter Hazen does where he does not have an opinion.
I mean, I'll have an opinion, but the point of the episode is that we are creating these things together, not reviewing something that already exists.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. That stemmed from some of the news from this week, which we'll also get into in a minute. But Universal announced Universal Kids, which is coming to Fort Worth, Texas.
Frisco. Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm telling you, I'm in rare form.
Everybody, hey, Texas crew, let's all just calm down before you go to the comments. Let's
DFW. It's coming to.
Break.
Would you consider Frisco as a part of DFW?
I don't know.
I think so.
It's Frisco. It's
people won't know where. You know what people are going to say? It's in Dallas.
They're going to build an airport in McKinney, and it's literally going to end up being like John Wayne is to LAX, and that's going to be the airport everybody flies into to go to Universal Kids.
You think so?
And the new Disney park that they're going to build somewhere between Frisco and Oklahoma and all that land they got. So it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
it's happening. Disney already has plans. I've heard in the grapevine that stuff's already moving. Dirt's already getting pushed around. No, I don't know. I'd like to think
the reality is that he has no idea what he's talking about.
If they were to open it, I think, bold prediction, if Disney opens a new gate, a new park, it would be in North Texas before Orlando.
I disagree with that.
Guaranteed. 100%.
I disagree. Totally disagree.
Yeah. No.
That may be your wishful thinking, but I don't think that's
it's my honest opinion. And I think within a year, let's just go even bolder. Within a year of Universal Kids being opened, we're going to see something from Disney.
I don't think so.
Not like open, but they're going to throw around maybe like when's the next D23? Not this year, but next year.
Well, technically there's one in August, but it's a smaller version of it.
Yeah.
Destination.
At the legit one. Not this year, but
both of them are legit.
Well, the big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to say something. They're going to say, we're coming to the Lone Star State.
I don't think so.
Let's go. We'll see.
I think that Universal, or anyways, so they made announcements this week about Universal Kids, and they announced the different like IPs that are going to be represented in that park. which we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so that's kind of where this stemmed from. I was like, well, what would we do if we built our own theme park? You know?
You used IP, huh?
Yeah. Well, we'll get into it.
Well, the thing about me is I'm a big
Anti-IP.
no-go on
Yeah,
IP,
exactly.
so.
Which is why I knew I would get judged immediately for using one IP.
Okay.
The other one, I guess, is technically. We'll get into it.
Let's back up. Tell me about your week. Let's talk feelings.
I feel like that was slightly.
I'm not being condescending.
Yeah, that was definitely patronizing.
Sounded a little bit.
Yeah.
My week went okay, but yeah.
Okay. I feel uncomfortable talking about my week now. I feel judged again.
You know, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you started talking about it, and then I hijacked and said, "Let's do the tease."
Well, like now it's awkward.
Where I was getting at is it's hard to like tell someone, it's like, okay, be creative whenever you have a bunch of other stuff going through your mind. So I will obviously, I sympathize with you, Nick.
Yeah,
I understand you've had a hard week, and it's not easy to ask you to create your own theme park proposal.
Sure.
You know,
it's an awkward transition now, but in all seriousness, it has been a difficult week. My grandfather has been in the hospital this week, and he's had a lot of heart issues going on. He has blockage in one of his arteries, pretty significant and severe blockage, and there was a question of whether he was going to need bypass surgery or not, and you know. It's just been a lot. The surgery's not going to happen. He's too old for it. He's 90 years old. And so it's a weird place and a weird position to be in, where you're just like, at this point, and this is just real, you're just waiting for the day that you get the call that grandpa passed away. And obviously that's not a fun place to be in. I'm close to my grandparents. I grew up, our house was very close to theirs. And have a lot of memories with him. I'm also the only family member that's like capable of helping them at this point in Florida, so that's been, you know, a lot of stress as well. But I think just overall, you know, when you go through that, and also I've never lost a grandparent before. I have all four of my grandparents still, and so it's uncharted territory. You know, it's hard. For someone who's like me, I'm very empathetic, and so I feel things absolutely. But the majority of the things that I feel are for the people that are around me, and so like my parents, watching them cope and stress, just watching my dad struggle with the idea of his dad passing has been really challenging to watch this week. My mom was on the phone with me this morning talking about the last time that they saw him when he was in the hospital, and how he was just doting upon her, and how emotional, and she got very emotional with me on the phone, talking about how, you know, how much that meant to her, and how much her relationship with him has meant to her, and they talking about how they were praying together, and how he was crying while they were praying together, and just all of those things. I take on those feelings for sure. And I don't know if like, I would be interested. I'm always interested and fascinated by like the roles of children in a family as well. And as the oldest, I always feel like I need to like take care of and take on everybody's burdens around me, and to make sure that like everybody's okay, make sure that everybody's doing fine. And so, yeah, I like assume a lot of responsibility there. And so, yeah, it's been difficult. It's been hard. He's doing okay. He is still like fully there. Like he still has his wits about him for sure. And he's always been a goofy guy. And I love that about him. So it's also been challenging because I'm flying to California this week. And so it's a weird position to like leave and go across the country and then kind of like leave that behind and just trust that like it's going to be okay, and that once you get on that plane there's not anything that you can really do. So yeah, just been a difficult week navigating that. There's also been a lot of like positive things happening this week. Again, my family was around. This week I got to see my parents. My sister and I ran together during Run Disney, completed the Princess Weekend Challenge, ran the 5K with the family. That was a great time. Luke and Ethan were out on the course, Ethan's first Run Disney race. And we just took our sweet precious time in that 5K for sure. It was freezing that morning. It was very cold. And so I always run with a couple of friends of mine. One of them is on the podcast that Hunter is still a part of and that I have been on time and time again, called The Happiest Podcast on Earth. But AJ and I run together, and her mom, and AJ and Ethan were just like buddies the entire 5K. They like bundled up in blankets and then just like were walking together most of the time and like talking, and every time we'd turn, he'd be next to AJ. So they had a great time together. But anyways, the Run Disney weekend was incredible. Got hosted at Margaritaville. That was great. The house was really awesome. It was huge, 7 bedrooms and 3 stories. And got to stay at Grand Floridian one of the nights, which was really cool and really special, especially because Francie was able to come down with the boys and watch me and my brother-in-law during the half marathon and spectate Fry. So outside of all of the like heaviness that we've been going through as we kind of like navigate this situation with Grandpa, there's been some really cool moments as well. And Princess Weekend was a blast. Run Disney is a special thing. So
yeah.
It
was a busy week.
Yeah, it was a lot. There has been so much going on. And there's even more things that have been happening that there's no need to like go into all of it. But it's been a lot. I have not slept a lot the last few days. That is for sure. During Run Disney weekends.
We did, yeah. We postponed recording night one night so you could get some sleep, and then you tell me today it's like I never went to sleep. Like, okay.
So Run Disney weekend, like you don't really like, you should, but you don't get a lot of sleep. Like you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I got plenty of sleep when I ran the marathon, but that was just my first race.
The night before, I don't feel like you got.
No, it was stressful because we arrived, checked in at our hotel, was trying to figure out sleeping arrangements, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But
yeah, you just don't. There's just always so much going on, and you have to try your best to get to bed at a decent time, but it ends up like not working out always.
Yeah.
And so not always, but for the most part. And then, Sunday night, I was up pretty late doing some editing stuff with our episode to make sure that you guys had it on Monday. So I only got a few hours of sleep Sunday night. And then, it just trickled on. And I've just been like, when I've been going through a lot of stress, obviously, with what my grandpa's been going through. And last night, I just could not fall asleep. I was wide awake until 1:30 in the morning, and then this morning I had to be up by 5:30. But it was because I got to do something really cool for work. I'm actually wearing the shirt for those that are watching on YouTube. I went to Discovery Cove today for work, and I got to do something that I have always wanted to do, and that is swim with a dolphin. So that was really cool, and actually like very peaceful, which is exactly what I needed today. So it was cool. Discovery Cove is a fun spot. So
yeah. Well, I did swim with the dolphin, stay at Grand Flow, run a marathon, stay at Margaritaville. I mean, this is the perfect dichotomy of this, because that's the local and I'm the tourist. I was here in North Texas. I went to work all week. The most exciting thing that happened this week, AT&T is changing our street to fiber. So they upgraded. I just realized I didn't plug my phone or my laptop into the Ethernet, and my internet looks like it's running smooth.
I will tell you that I normally, when we're recording, because we record in a specific special program that like
I'm blurry, right?
Yeah, I can.
Now I'm crystal clear. Fiber, baby. We got fiber.
Further confirms that it has been.
It was my internet, which is now improved thanks to AT&T. No additional charge. They just were switching their service. Nice. The tech did step in a hole through my ceiling, through the drywall ceiling. So I have a hole in my ceiling in my entryway that I need to get fixed.
Gotta love that.
That was the most exciting thing that happened. And
no,
I have great
not
internet.
true.
Something else did happen.
you put together. So Hunter and I, we've talked about it, but we met on the happiest podcast on earth, and they just celebrated their 300th episode.
6 years.
Yep. And Hunter is notorious on the happiest podcast for coming up with what they call and refer to as Hunter Game Day or Hunter's Game Day.
I'm going to charge you $0.25 for saying that. Trademarks.
And they're always a blast. I've competed in many of them. And he's brilliant. Hunter's mind is absolutely incredible. He puts so much work and effort into creating these games to play on the podcast, and his attention to detail is fantastic. And he put so much work and effort into this 300th episode, and like the happiest podcast on earth has seen like a lot of cast changes over the years as well, but almost everybody came back to do this 300th episode. It was a huge group of us, and we played Family Feud.
Yeah, we tried to get everybody back. We had 9 out of 10 contestants, including me, so 10 people total in the episode, which 10 people on a podcast is no easy feat.
So much fun.
It was a structured game day, so everybody kind of had their turn to talk, which if it wasn't, it would have just been absolute madness. But yeah, no, it went well.
Yeah, it was good. You did a great job. I was very impressed. I mean, I wasn't surprised because it's you.
Because you expect greatness. I mean, what can I say?
Okay. I was trying to be
from
nice,
the perfectionist of the two of us. I mean,
I retract my statement.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. But I recorded the podcast. Guy stepped through my ceiling. I upgraded my internet. I feel like most of our listeners may relate to my week.
Probably so. I mean, I hope that they don't relate to my week in certain ways. Also with your grandfather, yes. But I'm talking about specifically. No, I understand.
Half marathon, Margaritaville.
Sure. I live a very blessed and bizarre life, and I'm not like, I never take that for granted, and I am not ignorant to know that like what I experience in my life is not a normal thing. So
yeah. But I am counting down to, now, the night of recording, just a couple days away from Disneyland.
What's so funny to me, going back to that for a second, this is a Nick and Hunter friendship moment. Is that
friendship began and was tested.
Well, no, but I was like, we were texting, and I was like, I feel like we haven't really talked much, and you said, yeah, it's been a busy week. And I was just like,
I mean, in terms of like work, like,
well, sure, but I'm always like,
work.
Why? I enjoy any conversation.
It's confidential information. I'm working deals.
Whatever.
I've got Work Hunter and I've got podcasts.
I've experienced both of those before. I've seen Work Hunter in action, but anyway, it's
been busy in terms of like.
That to me,
the 7 a.m.
Let's get into that. Let's get into that for a second. I think that I get that everyone lives a very busy life for sure, and like obviously like constant communication is not necessary, but like I don't always love that excuse from people, because like it just depends. You know what I mean?
Honestly, like, what I wanted to say is, hey buddy, I'm gonna see you in 2 days. Like I'm just banking conversations. Like there's no reason for us to chit chat.
Yeah, that's the difference between me and you, though, is that for me, there's endless conversation.
I feel like not everybody, that'd be making an assumption, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to me when you're like, you're going to see someone. So you're like, don't burn all the conversation. Especially, I know you well, so I don't really care. I'll talk to you. I'll not talk to you, and we'll be just fine. But like someone that you know, kind of, you're like, okay, I've got, a friend outing with that person tomorrow. Maybe I won't text them during the day just so we have more to talk about. That's how I would always gauge my social interactions.
I get that because you're pre-planning, like because
if I text someone all day and then I go hang out with them in the evening, I'm like, well, I already talked about it. There's nothing to talk about anymore. So.
I am not that way. I always have something to say or to talk about, literally quite always. But I
with
get
you, I just say whatever pops into my head, so I have plenty to talk about.
Welcome to my world with everyone.
I don't do that with everybody. You got to get to a certain level, and then you really get just
I do that with literally
ideas that float to the top
strangers on the street. I talk about what pops into my head.
Not me.
That is a big difference between.
I got to know you at least for 2.5 years. I don't even think I've known you for 2.5 years.
What are you talking about? Yes, you have. It's been 4.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Jeez.
What do you mean it's been 4?
Yeah,
4?
I think it was 2021 that I did my first episode.
Well, I meant, I meant me. I was thinking more of like whenever you went like, well, no, not full.
What constitutes as when?
I'm thinking of like when we started like hanging out. Not like I knew you and we obviously recorded episodes together, but then like it was like a year,
like really got to know each other
2 years ago. Yeah, isn't that kind of
like when we went to Disneyland?
Pretty much.
Okay,
that's where I looked.
I would say that we knew each other before then, but
I knew you, but I knew a lot of people.
You didn't follow me on Instagram until like
I think that was honestly a mistake. And that was one of those situations where like you know someone, you're like, I don't know. And then you end up getting to know more and you're like, it's too late now. So I just got to pretend to be like, whoops, forgot.
See, I don't relate to that because I'm immediately like, oh yeah, they were nice, follow them.
I don't know. But anyways,
we're different.
We're going to Disneyland this weekend.
We are.
And the next time you see us on this channel, we will be sitting next to each other, recording from a hotel room or the balcony. I don't know, walking through downtown Disney. I want to do a walk and talk. I think that would be fun.
Maybe that'll be like a bonus thing that we do. But yeah, we'll be.
Are we going to post like anything in a different format than just this? Like, are we going to be like, let's post a ride video or like a walk and talk through
see.
The downtown Disney?
It's going to be really dependent on, because I'm going for work. This isn't necessarily like a pleasure trip for me, although Hunter is coming with another friend of ours.
Pleasure trip for me.
Yeah, to come and crash. But I'm going for work, so I'll have a lot going on work wise. It's going to be a very busy weekend for me work wise, which I'm like, that's part of the reason that I'm like, man, I have got to rest at some point because my schedule's going to be so busy this weekend. But anyways, all of that to say, we'll see what kind of fun stuff that we come up with by the time that probably people listen to the episode that we're at Disneyland, or even maybe this one. Yeah, because by the time that they listen to this one, they may have already seen some stuff from us from the Disneyland trip. So, and by seeing stuff from us, you would see it on our Instagram page, which is the Theme Park Guys. So if you want to give that a follow, but we may post some YouTube videos as well. We'll see. I have TikTok and Reel ideas that I want to film with Hunter, but
we're on TikTok.
He's got to be willing to do them. I haven't posted anything yet, but yeah,
I've never been on the TikTok before.
Welcome to it. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll have fun. I'm just excited to see your face.
Yeah. So. It'll be great. I'm excited to go ride Soaring Over California.
Okay.
And
I'm happy that
you, of course.
Yeah, okay, of course. No. I'm excited for you to do that too. I love the excitement.
I'll do it a couple times. And I'll also do the morning power walking class at 6:30 a.m. in Disney's California Adventure. So you should definitely do that on Saturday morning.
I'm not doing that.
Have spots booked.
I talked to our friend Corey that's also going, and he said that he was actually going to do it this time. And I was like, more power to you, buddy.
Me and him are going to do it. So.
Don't wake me up.
All right.
But yeah, that'll be fun. So,
well, news time.
We can jump into it. So news this week, we've got some updates. There's random pieces of news, and it's kind of all over the place. So today, information and news broke from Universal Orlando about some new wands that are showing up, and these are sort of coming just like with Epic Universe starting to build and the excitement building for that. But these wands are supposed to be, and they're supposed to have new effects and haptic feedback. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
All right. Well, haptic feedback. Have you ever played PlayStation?
Yeah.
All right. It's the controller vibrations.
Oh, that's
haptic
easy.
feedback. Gives you feel like the new PS5 controllers have like trigger feedback. So like if it feels like you're, playing a golf game, hitting that, doing all kinds of stuff. It like gives resistance to the buttons and vibrates the controller. But so I'm sure if you do something with the wand, or if it starts to cast a spell, it'll feel
that's
vibration,
cool.
or I don't.
They don't do that like with the current wands, and so that's going to be a cool feature that they add to these wands for sure. So
yeah,
that'll be fun. That's exciting. It'll be fun to go like test those wands out.
Yeah. I have a piece of news. If we're doing back and forth, I don't know actually if this is still relevant or not, but I feel like it's something that you've been posting a bunch on in our Discord for our Happiest Podcast Discord, so that's where I've seen it. But virtual queue, gone. Good riddance.
For now.
Listen, people didn't think about this because, the controversy, right? Walt Disney World had the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Tiana's Bayou Adventure, both gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like people were really worried and or upset that it's like, okay, I can't do virtual queue anymore. I'm going to have to wait 3 hours. Well, we haven't seen that yet. I don't want to. Obviously, we're posting this, and we're going to post it. We have to go through a whole weekend next. There
was a moment on the first day at Cosmic Rewind where the wait time got to 170 minutes.
Okay.
That being said, but it didn't last for very long at all at that time.
But that being said, I want to offer a perspective that I don't think people are really realizing is when there's a virtual queue, there's that many people that are in that virtual queue, 170 minutes, even more, maybe 300 minutes worth of people that are in the virtual queue that are in the park doing other things. But when they are waiting for an hour in the Guardians queue, they are not in the other parts of the park doing other things. Right. So that, like, the park, Epcot needs that. They call them, when you're working attractions, you call them people eaters. Yeah. They're just, Epcot needs people to be sucked into the line and be held there for an hour. Especially and that frees up all kinds of other stuff.
Especially because Test Track is closed right now. There's not a lot of people.
It's crowd control.
Yeah.
Like when it's a virtual queue and the only people that are in line are waiting 20 minutes, all those people are in the park doing other things, waiting in other lines. Like it really makes it feel a lot more crowded than if you just let people get in line and wait. And it's how it be.
The other thing is that the wait times have not been terrible. Like it was at 35 minutes on the first day. So like, and it varied a lot. It went up and down for sure. But for it to hit 35 minutes on the first day of not having a virtual queue it's pretty solid. Now I will say that I think the parks have slowed down just a little bit right now. Princess Weekend has ended. There's like everybody's back at school. There's no major like holidays going on, and spring break hasn't totally started for a lot of people, although that's coming soon, so the parks will get busy again for sure. But yeah, so absolutely, I think you're right. That makes sense.
What do I know? I just worked at attractions in Magic Kingdom. I just, who knows? I was just a college programmer. It's not like I really was in the weeds, but
no, it's true. And I think so. And also to speak to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the wait times were not bad at all, which I didn't anticipate that to be the case. It's also
February, gets soaking wet. Yeah.
Although it's not been very cold here in Florida, with the exception of Princess Weekend, but yeah, so I think it's good. I think like these are good changes and I'm excited. I haven't tested it out yet. Next week I fly home, get home on Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be a full day at the park for work because Epcot starts Flower and Garden Festival, and so the plan is to try to rope drop for work that morning to see what it's like rope dropping Cosmic Rewind. But yeah, it's going to be a full day at Flower and Garden next week as well, which I'm excited. I'm pumped for Flower and Garden. It's going to be a good times, good food on the menus. Not a lot of changes with the menu for that, but
you know what I'm doing Tuesday morning after getting back from Disneyland Monday night?
Going to work.
Going straight to the office.
I fly through.
I just like to give you some perspective.
I understand. I get it. I
teach you about this whenever we talk. Like
I have
just
lived
on our own. I'm like, oh, how was your day? It's like, oh, work was tough. I'm like, okay. I wish I was just
listen. There are days where
and then you are doing stuff.
It's I mean, there are it happens. Working in the theme parks can be tiring. I get it that they're fun and it's exciting, but it also can be exhausting sometimes. So I'm
sometimes.
not at a desk job and blah blah blah. I should feel so grateful and so blessed. I do. I absolutely get those things,
I
but
just like to tease you every now
no,
and then.
but people do have a lot of things to say about that, and the reality
Well,
is that it's hard work.
you
Sometimes.
do good work.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't really know how you
I'm
know
trying to
that.
minimize your job.
I don't really feel like
Oh,
you go and like
I surf on undercovertourist.com.
yeah, sure.
I surf around, look at blogs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'll start sending you stuff and be like, "Is this you?"
Yeah,
You'll be
okay.
like, "I can't say, it's the frog."
No, I'd tell you. But yeah, so um yeah, I'm telling you, my brain, it's not functioning at the
What
best
else
capacity.
happened? What else happened?
So let's jump into Universal Kids Resort.
I know a lot about this.
Oh wait, no, before I do that, Universal Orlando confirmed that Epic Universe will feature dragons in the skies. This has been speculated, but no official confirmation from Universal, but it sounds like there will, and people have seen them testing, but there will literally be dragons flying in the sky over Epic Universe.
You know what that reminds me of? I saw just like I don't know. It was a For You page. I don't know. It got me. I was targeted. But it was a throwback to the Boeing X-Wing drones that were at Galaxy's Edge on opening day that they just never used ever again. I'm like, there's an X-Wing drone out there somewhere that we could be flying over Galaxy's Edge, having fun.
I don't think, well,
Not
first of all, drones, there's been a lot of issues with those in Orlando. And so those like,
Is this dragon a drone?
I don't think so.
A kite?
No, I don't think so.
What could it possibly be?
I don't know. I know that there are.
Do you think it floats with magic?
No, it's a dragon, obviously.
There's some sort of thrust element, probably in the form of propellers in a drone form, flying that dragon.
It's a robot. Anyway,
it's a drone.
Anyways, there are also
sorry to ruin the magic.
No, it's fine.
No.
It's a dragon. Anyways,
robot dragon.
The I don't know. My brain.
You're talking about robot dragons.
Yeah, I'm excited. Isle of Berk is my most anticipated land at Epic Universe.
That roller coaster looks cool.
Yeah, what's yours?
I do think that like sweeping roller coaster looks cool. I think not excited for what is it called? Super Nintendo World, Mario World. Not excited.
I'm 0%. Excited. We also get Donkey Kong here, and they don't have that at.
That looks interesting. Like that ride just makes me. I'm confused.
Did you
I
play
that
Donkey
ride
Kong
system.
when you were a kid? Were you not allowed?
I was allowed to play Donkey Kong, sir, but I did not really.
Yeah.
I played Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So that's about what I got from that.
There were Pokemon in Super Smash Brothers.
And Super Mario Baseball. Played a lot of that.
Yeah.
Mario Golf. Played that on the Game Boy. Game Boy Color.
Natural.
Ton. Yeah. Yeah. But I think.
Oh, you were a color kid.
Yeah, then I switched to the Advance.
Yeah.
I was pretty, yeah.
I feel like you probably didn't have a long stint with the color. You were too young.
Played a lot.
Really?
I was too young. No. Game Boy Color I had for a long time.
Really?
Then I did move to the Game Boy Advance, and I used that thing a ton. I would play it literally 10 hours straight as we're driving from Texas to Florida. I played
Game Boy Color, Pokemon Blue version, hours and hours.
I wasn't allowed to play
I'd get
Pokemon,
Infinity for Pokemon people that can hear this and understand. There's a cheat where you can get Infinity Rare candies, and you just surf.
Sounds like it was cheating.
Well, it's called winning. When you go to battle the elite, you gotta have your Pokemon stacked with Infinity Rare candies, so they're all like at extremely high levels and one-hit wonders.
You want to know just a random fun fact that popped into my head also of another game that I played way too much that is just kind of quirky. It was a demo on my GameCube, and it was The Legend of Zelda, like the Wind Walker or something. I don't know. And it was literally a demo, so I only had 15 minutes to get as far as I could every time I booted it up. And I played that thing a lot. You can like get on a boat and go to different islands and stuff.
That's
and,
cool.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah, it was interesting. I don't know why. I don't think that relates to this podcast at all. But we're talking about Game Boys and other stuff.
Fine.
So
Super Nintendo. So you're not excited?
yeah,
about
so
Super
not
Nintendo.
excited about Super Nintendo.
Right,
No.
right. Naturally, for you to lead with the thing that you're not excited about.
Not
when I
excited
asked
about
you
that.
What you're excited about?
Ministry of Magic might be cool. I do appreciate Diagon Alley and that kind of theming, although I haven't seen any of the Harry Potter movies.
But you have seen Fantastic Beasts.
I have.
Why have you
which I
watched
can relate.
Fantastic Beasts?
Just because it came out when maybe I was free. I don't know. Like free to make my own decisions.
Oh, got it.
Be like,
got it.
I'll take myself to the movies to watch that. I don't know. And then Harry Potter just got too far along. And like, yeah, newer movies were coming out. And I was like, I don't have the time to catch up to this. So I'm just not even going to try.
We're gonna watch a Harry Potter movie together this weekend.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It feels wrong to do that at Disneyland, if I'm being honest. But we're doing it.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I have watched Fantastic Beasts. But I don't know. I don't like scary things, but I am intrigued by Dark
Same.
Universe.
Yeah, same.
I think I like the theming of it. Like
That's going to be a land that I want to go to during the
rundown
daytime.
village. Okay. One of my coolest. The thing that I think is the coolest is the windmill that catches fire.
Yeah,
I think that is like okay. That's like if you're there in the middle of the night and it's dark and then that thing goes ablaze.
Yeah.
That's like horror movie type stuff. You're like, oh my gosh. So I think, and the fact that they pulled that off with like how fireproof that thing needs to be, and in a theme park full of people, I just appreciate it. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, the roller coaster in Isleberg does look pretty cool. How it sweeps through and kind of it literally uses like the whole land, which I think is neat.
Have you seen those movies?
They're like all the spy videos from like some guy with his
like
drone.
The actual movie.
I was talking about the videos of the park and testing and stuff. No. Well, maybe.
You should watch them. I feel like it could be like a fun family movie to watch.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's not like
we're still processing Star Wars: A New Hope, so
I don't know. I feel like
I've told a Star Wars themed bedtime story for the last 3 weeks, every night in a row.
Well, switch it up. You could have dragon themed.
Maybe.
The movies are great. They're some of my favorite animated movies, so I'm pumped. Can't wait. All right, so Universal
Kids. Universal Kids.
That's the inspiration for what we're going to get into with the main part of our episode is the
Universal
fact that,
Kids is?
Well, the fact that they've released the lands or like what will be featured.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it says it'll feature lands themed around Shrek, Puss in Boots, SpongeBob, Minions, Jurassic World, Trolls, and Gabby's Dollhouse. So
Jurassic World, that's a interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, so we have that. Obviously, we have a land themed around Jurassic Park here in Orlando, and they have a large children's play area, and then they have Why is
that the glider one?
Flyers, yeah. The actual name is escaping me, but it's like
the one that you have to be yay tall to ride.
Correct. And you have to have a child with you to ride it. But anyways, they have that represented here at Islands of Adventure. So I think they'll do it. It'll just be lighthearted, you know. But it might be something
I don't know how lighthearted you can get.
Well, I was going to say it might be something that
it's like pre-disaster Jurassic World.
Well, here, let me read some of the descriptions. So for Shrek, it's giving so here in Orlando we have DreamWorks Land, and we have the swamp, and I feel like that's what this themed land is going to mimic in some ways. They're going to use what they have here at DreamWorks Land and put it into
I do feel like Shrek and Puss in Boots Land is a little bit of a cop out to try to say they're two different lands, because isn't that it's the same property?
Sure, but Puss in Boots has his own movies.
Oh yeah, so does Timon and Pumbaa, but they don't have their own show in Animal Kingdom. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting picky.
I think so. This is what it says about Shrek. Enjoy ogre size fun as you stomp, ride, laugh and play in Shrek's swamp theme playground built personally by Shrek, aka we have a swamp themed playground here in Orlando, and I think it's going to be the same thing. We have a fart slide, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Bash can't go on that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's hilarious. He will think
see.
it's the coolest thing in the world. You literally slide down it and it just makes fart noises the entire time.
I'm pretty sure if I was a kid and Universal Kids opened up in North Texas, I wouldn't be allowed to go. Especially since they have SpongeBob Land.
Oh my goodness.
Was not allowed to watch SpongeBob.
Speaking of SpongeBob, which was one of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid, it's Bikini Bottom's best day ever, and SpongeBob and friends cannot wait to show you around their neighborhood under the sea. The fact that they're going to have Bikini Bottoms here's the thing. They're calling this Universal Kids. This is not just for the children.
It kind of is.
No, step aside, kids. You don't get to explore Bikini Bottoms before me. I've been watching Bikini Bottoms much longer than you have. Okay, so step aside. It's my turn. That's how I feel about that.
Okay.
Anyways. Minions, they say, let the games begin at Illumination's Minions overrun a peaceful vacation retreat when yellow minions attempt to rein in their purple counterparts. It leads to a wave of unpredictable, water-soaked fun. So it sounds like this is going to be a
splash pad.
Yeah, a lot of splash areas, which that sounds fun. Like the purple minions will be fun to incorporate into the park. We have Minion Land here in Orlando, and it's cool.
I'm imagining each of these lands being the size of like Dino Dig in Animal Kingdom. Like I'm not thinking on the scale of like
no.
You know, the whole park is like as big as Fantasyland. Yeah. So just like I think it's even smaller than Fantasyland. I don't know.
It's gonna be small. It's gonna be a lot of like play areas.
Yeah. But it'll be and flat rides.
Yeah.
A lot of flat rides.
Yeah, so Jurassic World, it's a journey of exploration where kids can learn about and come face to face with dinosaurs of Jurassic World in uniquely exciting and interactive ways.
So
feels lighthearted. And the picture
Raptor encounter just
the picture they have. I could not tell you what type of dinosaur this is, but it's a sweet little happy dinosaur. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DreamWorks Trolls, you're invited to the most colorful, most joy-filled, and of course, most glittery music festival of all time. That sounds like a blast. A music festival?
Yeah.
Time to party.
Whatever happened to the Smurfs? Who has the Smurfs?
I don't know.
Is that DreamWorks?
Have you ever watched any of the Trolls movies?
No.
Yeah.
I was just the thing that popped into my head was the Smurfs.
The Trolls are fun.
Does that age me? But we're still doing Smurf movies, aren't we? No,
I think it's been a while.
Didn't they do like a Christmas movie or something not too long ago? I can't remember.
I don't know. Maybe you might be right. But the Trolls are fun, and there's a lot of kids who love the Trolls. My boys have seen the movies. They're not like super into it, but I will say that the Trolls areas of DreamWorks Land here are very cool. It basically feels like DreamWorks Land is expanding, and they're putting it at Universal or putting it in Texas.
Yeah.
And they're adding some components as well. It says for Puss in Boots, it says it's a legendary day with Puss in Boots in Del Mar as the kitty adoption drive is in full swing with colorful decorations, sideshow games, fun rides, and festive food. That sounds very carnival festival-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So interesting.
And I don't know anything about Gabby's Dollhouse. Never watched it. But it says a central hub with interactive play areas and shady lawns for rest and recharge, plus an immersive retail experience where guests can meet characters from Gabby's Dollhouse.
Sounds like a lawn and a store.
Sounds like the hub.
Sounds. We have a nice lawn and a themed merch experience.
It sounds cool. I'm into it. So, it's exciting though. I mean, I feel like this is a big deal. A park in Texas.
It's not on the same scale as obviously what we're used to in Florida, and I think people should temper their expectations going in and just know what you're getting.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be neat.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
pumped. I want to be there. I got to be there for opening day for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what like the repeatability is going to be like.
I think it
like
will be good because if it's a lot of play type areas, that kids never get tired of that. It's like
I
going to
mean,
the
it
park.
has to be regional, right? Like that's their draw. They're
Right.
going for it's a locals park.
Correct.
It's not a huge travel park. So
People aren't
yeah.
coming to. I mean, there will people will travel for this, sure, but it's Dallas, Texas is not a vacation destination.
Oh, excuse you.
I mean, like realistically, like people aren't like.
Dallas maybe not, but Fort Worth is.
No, it's not.
Hey, hey.
Realistically, people are not like, where do you want a vacation? I want to go to Dallas. Like, they don't do that.
Yeah,
They don't.
people do. They don't? Oh.
I mean, I've been to Dallas several times.
I'm living on vacation every day.
Apparently not. Not
Here.
based on what you tell me. I think we just had a whole conversation about.
Let's get into these parks.
Okay. Do you want to start, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
What does that
you
mean?
go. I'll go first.
Okay.
What do you want? Do you want idea 1A or idea 1B for me first?
I like the letter B more than I do A, so let's go with B.
All right, let me go to my photos and make sure. All right, so I'm going to send you some photos that I generated using AI in my own brain to write prompts. Oh, don't send that to that person. That's not the right person. That'd be confusing. So I'm going to send you photos, and these photos obviously we'll put on the screen here. So my first park land is called, I think I just sent it to you if you get it, 87. Mute that phone, dadgummit.
That was my computer.
Oh, bing. All right, it's called 8711 Studios.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to you?
Say it again.
8711 Studios. Does that mean anything? Does this 8711 mean anything to you?
No.
Well, let me tell you what it is. 8711 is the premier action design production company, i.e., like a stuntman company.
Okay.
Working on movies such as John Wick, The Hunger Games, Deadpool 2, Sherlock Holmes, The Expendables, you name it. It's one of the most popular, basically like stunt production companies in existence right now. So I am hearkening back to my true love for the original MGM Studios, and this is a studio land, a love letter to stuntman, current, past, and future. So let me take you through the attractions that we have here. First off, we're going for a backlot vibe everywhere. This is the studio lot. So again, kind of stealing a little bit from MGM Studios. It's the studio lot, okay? Pretty much put Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, Lights, Motors, Action, and what was the other one? Oh, like the Pearl Harbor scene before Backlot Tour. Like that's the kind of stuff that's going to populate this land. Primary attraction, show is going to be a stunt show. I have two options here on these photos, like an indoor, more like a studio version stunt show, maybe a little more, less of a crowd, more intimate. They kind of walk you through different scenes, how they're created, maybe bring up volunteers to take part, and it's a fun show. The other option for the show would be to have it outdoors, Lights, Motors, Action style, stadium seating, high energy explosions, all of that. We need something because nothing exists. Well, the Bourne stunt show, is that still going in Universal or is that gone?
Have you seen that?
No, but I really want to, and I think I'd like it.
So
but,
good.
Yeah. So something obviously similar to that. On these photos, you may see a tower. That is going to be our premier draw attraction. That is the free fall tower. So let me paint you. This is where I talked to Nick a little bit, and it's like I had a few scripts. They're rough scripts, but I kind of have a show around these. So it's a drop tower attraction where you are the stunt crew actors. You're the stuntman. It's a new upcoming movie. You're basically lining up for a shot in the movie. Okay. Heavy production talk in the lead up. You know, a lot of stunt lingo. Like you board the ride vehicle. It's a slow rise to the top of the hill. You have your stunt coordinator on the radio talking you through it. Okay, we got this movie set up. Camera three's here. We need you to do this, this, and this. It's gonna be, you know, here's a little tidbit I wrote here. Don't judge too much, but let's see. They're gonna be like, "Welcome, stunt trainees. We're happy to have you on set." And then his assistant from the back, he's like, did we tell them what happened to the last crew? And or he says that, and then someone next to him goes, "Sir, your mic's hot." And he's like, "Oh yeah. Well, they did such a great job. We sent them on a fully paid 8 to 12 month vacation, and that's why we have y'all here today." So you know, it's that playful lingo. It's like something bad's looming. You know, you don't really know what it is. You'll get hoisted all the way up to the top of the tower, where you're met with an animatronic stuntman. He's the star of the movie. All right, he's there. He's saying, "All right, we're gonna do this shot." You get the countdown 3, 2, 1. The animatronic jumps off the tower as your ride vehicle free falls in tandem, both together, falling at the same speed. So you're basically like watching him fall down. I'm thinking like Spider-Man from Disney's California Adventure kind of vibes here. You know, he's falling, you're falling with him. You get a good view. You're up close and personal. It's just a drop tower. I mean, it's nothing special, but it has that extra theming.
Yeah, I like it.
Layers around it. You know what I mean? So then, you know, you do that. You land. The crew, you know, congratulates you. Great shot, so and so. You did great for your first time. They take the ride video of you with the stuntman, and they splice that into like a little photo pass that you take home, kind of like Tower of Terror style. And you're part of like the scene in the movie now, and that's your take home gift. So
I like it.
Yeah,
Very cool.
That's the drop tower. So tall drop tower. And then, you know, you need food, so we have like a little commissary. I'm thinking ABC commissary style, very studio lot ish. A lot of great stuntman memorabilia, like all through, you know, where you can kind of see photos of, you know, famous stunts, all that kind of stuff. And also throughout the studio lot, there's scattered a lot of like items from stunts past, you know, like crashed cars, maybe an iconic movie car that's crashed that's sitting on the street corner or in the alleyway, that you can kind of explore the land and see all these different things. But yeah,
I like it.
that's it.
That sounds fun. It's very you, very on brand.
Yeah, that's 8711 Studios.
I would say that's some of your like favorite things.
Yeah, I absolutely loved MGM Studios.
Yeah.
Like, show me how the movie's made. Like, it was, I don't know.
I'm very
a big
fascinated
studio
to see
park kinda
how
guy.
like that land fits into the park that we're building together, because it's so.
Oh, this is all about our park together?
Yeah, totally.
Well, this is my side of the park.
And
But like I said, not that there is IP in the sense of like the studio is aware of the movies they've worked on. Maybe the show is like, let's take a look at this stunt we did on this movie, but it's not themed around that. It's timeless in a sense where it could be updated, stuff could be added.
I like it.
But none of the attractions are solely around like, this is John Wick attraction. No,
Right.
It's, you know.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Little intensity to our park started off. High octane energy.
I like it. So I will go into one of my park ideas or land ideas.
Okay.
And so a lot of people, I don't know that they know this about me, but when I was a kid, my
Are you
favorite.
going to send me your photos?
Yeah, I'm
I can-
going to send them as I present my ideas.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is nice. I just sent you the whole album at once.
It's a presentation.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that one of my favorite attractions growing up, like into my high school years, and I don't know why it's not so much anymore, was Pirates of the Caribbean. So I love Pirates. The movies are some of my favorite movies, especially the first one. And so we don't have a complete land. We have a section of Magic Kingdom that is dedicated to pirates, basically just an attraction. Now that's expanding to a bar. But I thought it would be fun to develop an entire land or centered around Pirates of the Caribbean, because I feel like we can get so much more from it. And if we're putting in a new theme park, why not expand that idea? So we are going to have, it's going to be called Old Port Royale. And I'm going to send you a picture This is the first image. This is AI generated, but it really captured the vibe that I'm going for with this park, with this part of the park, the land. A lot of water, a lot of ships.
Buddy, this is a $500 million land here.
Listen, okay, Mr. Drop Tower in the middle of the.
It's an attraction. Yeah.
These are just bridges.
I mean, this is awesome. Yeah, I'd love to be walking the docks.
Yeah, it's just bridges over water.
Where these docks go, I don't know.
Well, they'll tell you where they go. One of the first places that you can go is for a bite to eat at a restaurant called the Shipyard, which is where we have family style restaurant. We've got
that looks cool.
I told you my AI
looks like musky in there.
It is. It's going to be.
Yeah. I like that. It looks old.
It's gonna be nice though. It's candle lit. You've got. This is gonna be really hard for people who are just listening to this episode. So I do recommend you maybe go see this on YouTube.
Come see us on YouTube. Helps us out too.
But to try to give you sort of the ambiance, you've got candlelight. It's a little dark. You've got a major ship in the middle of the restaurant, but the food is going to be great. It's going to be family style. We're going to have a Spanish flair on the food. So we've got paella is going to be one of the options.
Wow. You went more detailed than I did. Wow.
I want like mojo chicken. I want rice and beans. I want plátanos, like plantains. Very like Caribbean meets, Spanish food. So I'm excited. I would eat there in a heartbeat, and I think that
I would go there too.
Yeah.
Can you get a reservation to have the table that's on the ship, and you can be the captain's people that table? Just walk around the ship? Yeah, it's like the captain's table.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
We're also gonna have a stage show because I feel like stage shows are a little bit of a dying thing at parks, and I don't like that. I miss them, and just watching Moana on the Disney Treasure was so incredible. I want more Broadway style shows in the parks. So I thought it would be fun to build off of two characters that you may not even recognize who they are when I tell you their names. It's Pintle and Ragetti. And those are the two pirates that are really goofy in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie series. One of them is missing an eye. He has like the plastic eye. But the two of them are always like getting into very peculiar situations. I want a backstory on them, and I want a backstory on their friendship and how they got into being pirates. And so when I put that into an AI image search, the image that they gave me were these just two young pirate looking dudes. But I think it'd be fun. Think it'd be fun to sort of take something
mascots.
Yeah, take something that's a part of the Pirates of the Caribbean IP, but two characters that but
not Jack Sparrow.
Correct. We don't really know too much about these two characters, so it'd be fun to build a backstory on them. And who knows, maybe that turns into a movie one day. Pirates of the Caribbean has a way of doing that when it's put into a theme park. So the other thing that we're going to have is a jungle cruise style boat ride. But instead of like a skipper, it's going to be a pirate ship, and it's going to be a water ride, but it's going to be outdoors, and you're going to I really
AI really tried to make it happen.
Yeah, they did.
Them, but
I struggled trying to figure out, because I would love for it to be on the Black Pearl, but do we just have the Black Pearl, or do we just switch up different pirate ships? Unsure. We're going to flesh that out in development. But I think
what if it's a rowboat that you have to row yourself? No. That you like that Jack Sparrow uses?
Absolutely not.
It's Jack's ship.
I was thinking
he comes in at the start of the movie. It's like a pirate ship, but it's a small one.
I was thinking it would be fun to have this ship and you being chased by Davy Jones.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. We got to flesh out the
logistically with ride vehicles how that would work.
Yeah, we got to flesh out the storytelling, but I'm picturing it to be a little bit more intense than Jungle Cruise. Like, I don't want you to just sit in a boat and just kind of like venture around. I want there to be some thrill there. So maybe you're going down some fake rapids or something like that.
All right.
Trying to avoid a waterfall. That could be fun.
The backside of water. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a nod to Jungle Cruise. That's fine.
You have it right here in your photos. That's it. That is literally the Jungle Cruise.
but on a pirate ship.
and some steel supports that have it locked in place. But yeah, that's great.
The last attraction, whatever. The last attraction in this area, AI could not generate what I wanted for this. I'm going to send you what I have, but it is basically going to be toy
Video.
It looks like a video game. It's essentially going to be. Don't laugh at my things.
No, just the photo. Yeah, the photo.
We are going to have a Toy Story Mania style attraction, but instead it's pirates collecting treasure.
Okay.
Treasure coins. Still a lot of work to be done, but I think it'd be fun. We need an indoor space here because it's going to be very warm. And so, yeah.
My mind immediately goes to Disney Quest on the attraction where you're working the cannons in this room with screens all around you, fighting other pirate ships that were also pirated. Ships were sailed by skeleton men, weren't they?
Scary.
And it was scary.
I would rather focus on something. I don't necessarily want to battle. I want it to be a little bit more lighthearted. I just want to collect coins.
Yes. Okay. We'll
Truly, like that's what I was envisioning. I want to just collect like gold and pirate coins.
And then if someone tries to take your coins, you just ask for them back nicely.
Don't make fun of me.
As the pirates would do, of course. Yay. Arr, matey.
It's a family friendly attraction.
I was with you all the way through the end. I'm still with you.
I feel like it's got a lot of potential, an entire themed land, and I'm just really impressed.
It is pirate ship heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so like that's a problem.
But yes, it is good. I like it. Okay. All right. Next to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I won't laugh at everything that you send to me.
This is an interesting one. You might laugh a little bit. Mine, I see you did a good job with your photos of like taking us from one thing to the next. I kind of just like kept asking. It's like, do it, but with this instead. Do it again. So a lot of my photos are kind of the same thing. Whatever. I'm just gonna send it. A lot of my photos are going to be kind of the same thing. I do have one that's kind of my favorite on here. I will explain this because it is more than just what it may seem. Did you get it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Did I send it to the right person?
I got it.
I did.
I got
okay.
it.
It's more than what it may seem, and I'm going to explain this.
Oh my gosh, I can already tell you where this is going.
My favorite is the last one.
Okay.
The one kind of with the glass over the store.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. So I'm going for. You've been to Ireland, right?
No.
Oh,
that's not like a.
Was that not a normal thing to ask?
That people do.
All right, cool. Let me just backtrack.
Everybody's been to Ireland, right?
In Ireland, in Dublin, they have the Guinness, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I just blanked. The Guinness Storehouse is what it's called. It's where they make Guinness. It's also where the Guinness World Record book originated.
Are those the same thing? The beer and the record?
Yes. Huh? It's called the Guinness World Record book because it started at the Guinness company because I think he was trying to get a record for like the largest bird or something, and they decided to write it down in a book. And then I read a story about it. It might have been the AI summary of the story, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And if I'm wrong, my whole idea crumbles terribly. But I made that connection, then I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna research no more. We're just gonna start building this thing now. So this land or this area is called the Guinness World of Records.
Okay.
Like, oh, you get catchy, huh? Yeah.
I like it.
Pretty good.
Our lands are so different.
Not to tap myself on the back, but when you enter the Guinness World of Records, you are in a land that is themed off of the Guinness Storehouse complex. It's basically like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but it's Guinness. Like it's in the old town streets of Ireland, and then there's a gate, just a black gate says Guinness on it, and it's just here. I'll send that one to you. So inside of this, I'm gonna also look at my photos here. It's kind of that old kind of brick stone kind of feel, very European. center stage of the hub of this land is basically a circular outdoor stage that hosts world record attempts daily.
Oh.
So like if people are in the area and they're like, I want to try smashing the most cantaloupes with my head, they set up on this stage, and you never know. You could be visiting the park and you don't know what world record attempt's going to happen that day. But every day at 3 p.m., it's called the 3 p.m. world record attempt. People are going to ask, hey, when's the 3 p.m. world record attempt? And they're going to say it's at 3 p.m. But get it? That's the joke on the 3 p.m. parade at Magic Kingdom. But anyways.
I got you.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, so that's kind of like the draw, the center stage, all in the environment of the Guinness storehouse that you've been transported to. That's central stage. There's also a walkthrough attraction. I'm thinking in the essence of One Man's Dream, where it showcases world record items, achievements, all kinds of things, artifacts that you can go and check out. Not as weird as like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, more grounded in reality. Like here's some actual record stuff that's like interesting. I like museums. Sue me.
Both of your lands feel very museum-like.
The other one was action-packed, I thought.
No, I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
All right, cool. All right. And then on that last photo, kind of with that little glass structure on top, that is the tasting room. So the Guinness storehouse has a rooftop tasting room, like a glass rooftop tasting room, where you can go have a pint of Guinness straight from the factory. So that would basically be kind of a replica of that experience in Ireland here. So you're tying together two things. You're tying together like Guinness, the actual beer in the manufacturing plant, and then you're tying together the Guinness Book of World Records into kind of this mesh of a land. But let's get to the main attraction. It's a roller coaster.
Oh.
Indoor roller coaster.
Oh, wow.
All right. So you walk in, it has a pre-show. You walk in and it is hosted by the twins, Norris and Ross. Why Norris and Ross, you ask? I'll explain later. They're two engineers with zero coordination and no exceptional physical abilities whatsoever to break any records for themselves, but they have a dream. They have a dream of owning a world record. And to do so, they have developed the fastest roller coaster on the planet. You get briefed by Norris and Ross in the pre-show. They explain the attraction and its purpose. You know, it's this roller coaster we've been working a long time on. It's our chance to get into the world records. Here's how we're going to achieve this absurd speed of 200 miles an hour, and you are going to break this world record with us. Again, I like the subtle allusions to what might be happening. So as they're going, they might mention that they are a little tired that day because they were up late working on this other side project of theirs that's not anywhere near ready for anyone to experience. But this fastest roller coaster has been tested. It is safe. It is ready to go. So you load up in your ride vehicles on your roller coaster track. You end up coming around a bend out of the load station into a kind of a staging area. Imagine you're at the start or the end of test track before you go through the crash wall. But this is going to use an effect, kind of a mirrored effect, to make the track in front of you look just endless. So it's going to kind of give you that effect of like, okay, I'm about to go on a straightaway and go 200 miles an hour forever.
Yeah.
Well, similar to Test Track, when a certain someone asks if they forgot to turn off those robots, right before you're about to launch, Ross asks Norris, "Hey Norris, did you remember to switch the track from Project B?" What do you mean? I thought you were going to do that. What? No, wait, launch. You're going hard left turn into Project B, which is Norris and Ross's attempt at building a roller coaster with the most inversions in the world. That's right. The current world record for the most inversions on a roller coaster is 14. But this isn't done. This is a project. It's still in progress. The speakers, they're trying to call you through the speakers as you're going through. You're going through 1 inversion, 2, 3, 4. You're through your 5th inversion. They're saying the track's going to end soon. We haven't finished. So you get through the 8th inversion, and then they hit the brakes and you come to a stop.
Wow.
The track in front of you is not put together, still under construction. They said, yeah, well, the world record's 14 inversions. We're still working on it. We've gotten to 8. But we need to get them back into the station. Well, Norris asked Ross, well, how are we going to get them back? And Ross has this great idea of, wait a minute, why don't we just send them back the way they came?
Oh, dear.
So, immediate reverse launch back through the 8 inversions. You've now done 16 inversions. As you finish, Norris and Ross celebrate and say, we did it. We did 16 inversions on a roller coaster. Congratulations, everyone. We did it. And you are now officially awesome. You are Guinness World Record. That's what they say when you win a Guinness World Record. You're now officially awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
And you are now a Guinness World Record holder for having been on the attraction with the most number of inversions. Yeah.
Why are their names that?
Oh, yes. Norris and Ross. Yes. Okay. Norris and Ross, they are named Norris and Ross because Norris and Ross were the 2 publishers who published the first ever Guinness Book
Oh, that's
of
cool.
World Records.
I like that. Very cool.
Easter eggs, baby. We got them here.
You're a
Wouldn't
big
that
fan
be
of
wild?
the moments on attractions.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Wait a minute. No. Phew.
Yeah.
And you're gone.
It happens in both of your attractions.
Well, the other one goes to plan.
Right.
But it's the that's the joke of the past crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I do like the
Yeah,
There's
I like
nothing like you have to instill a sense of doubt in the person that's riding. Because if you tell them, it's the key of storytelling. Tell them what you're gonna do it, and then tell them what you did.
Totally.
When you tell them what you're gonna do, but then you plant that seed of doubt of, hey, what I just told you we're gonna do may not actually be what we're gonna do. Then you got them second guessing themselves, and that's where the adrenaline kicks in.
I like it.
Bam.
It's fun. Very creative.
I just got hyped up. I'm ready to go ride. I don't know how I'd handle a roller coaster with 16 inversions, though. I think that'd be pretty rough. And half of them are while going backwards.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It is an intense attraction.
I'm going to tell you right now that the backwards for that long of time,
yeah,
too old for
yeah,
it.
because
But that sounds fun.
I was going to say, it has the tallest or the fastest roller coaster, but that's going to belong to Falcon's Flight in, like, I forgot what it is, Six Flags Abu Dhabi or something. And that thing is literally 2 miles long. Like, that wouldn't fit in our nice, close proximity land. But this does. You can pack 18 or 16 inversions. Really, it's only 8, but you go through them twice. So you can pack that into a show building.
Sounds like a feat.
Rock and roller coaster style is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can see it. I will say that your side of the park will probably be drawing the majority of the more mature audiences.
Yeah. Well, so maybe we do like a 1-2-1-2 approach where it's like my first one, your first one, then we like stagger them around.
Okay.
Give it a little spread out. But,
well, this one's going to be very much.
All right, what you got? Same style. I'm ready. I'm hyped up. I've got adrenaline.
No.
I'm ready to go.
It's gonna be. You get ready to come back down.
I did just hype myself up with that pitch.
That was great. Very creative. I'm very impressed. But
Thank you.
but not shocked because these are the things that you do. That's how your brain works, and it's brilliant. So this actually
send me photos.
This stemmed from when we first started talking about this idea. You made a joke to me, and you were like, "Oh yeah, see, your land can be all about feelings."
Yeah, you did Inside Out, didn't you?
Yep, sure did. We have an entire Inside Out themed land. And I know that we have Pixar Pier, and I know that there's an Inside Out attraction there. But this is an entire...
You can barely call it that.
Right.
But,
this is an entire land themed to Inside Out. And we have a coaster. It is definitely not a coaster like yours.
Coaster of
It is called the Emotional Roller Coaster. This AI image I don't love. It doesn't really capture what
I'm... 3 joys.
I don't know. It's not capturing what I'm envisioning for this coaster. I picture a launch coaster with lots of twists and turns. But what I would love is to see some different colors on the track, and those colors will represent some of the different emotions. But I envision the ride vehicle to also have speakers that will be in your ear whilst riding, and those emotions, while you're on the colored track, that emotion is speaking to you.
Okay.
So like if you're on
Or
a
like
purple
maybe
track,
it's fear as you're
fear is
going
speaking
down
to
the
you.
hill.
Yeah, and I
then
think
it's
exactly. And moments that would in that coaster that would invoke that emotion would correlate to with whatever's happening to you at the time.
All right. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah. We
I
also
love it.
have
We need some of this in our park because our park's a little intense right now. We need to bring it down.
yeah, no, this is going to be definitely a very family friendly environment.
Yeah.
We've got the finding your sense of self. It's a simulator attraction where
Doesn't
it's
sound like I'll be going.
it's essentially taking the storyline of Inside Out 2 but putting it into a simulator attraction. But one of the attractions that I'm most excited about at Epic Universe is the new ministry, the attraction that's coming to the Ministry of Magic, and it's because it's a simulator but it's taking you into these spaces that have been recreated from the movies and making them come to life within the Ministry of Magic. And I think everyone's minds are going to be absolutely blown when it comes to this at Epic Universe. And so I would love to see that, you know, you're so the point of it is you're with joy and sadness and the other emotions, and you're trying to retrieve your sense of self, but you're floating down the stream of consciousness. You're leaping over the sarcasms. You're zooming past the train of thought. But I also envision potentially having, and I'm going to send you some pictures of this
You didn't
as well.
send me a picture.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm behind.
I'm trying to imagine it in my mind.
I also envision there's one image here that you'll receive that I'm not particularly excited about because the ride vehicle looks like a brain and I absolutely hate it.
That's cool. I like it.
I think it'd be fun to have the control panel from headquarters in Inside Out. That is sort of what
Like
you're
on the dark ride and you go through the control panel room like 1-to-1 scale.
But it'd be fun to also just be able to have a control panel in front of you, especially for kiddos, to be able to like push buttons that aren't really doing anything, similar to Smuggler's Run. Where you're pushing buttons, but it's not really, nothing is really effective. This control panel is mobile now. You've developed to the point where the control panel can move around as you're searching for your sense of self. So,
okay.
I think it'd be
What's
fun.
happening to this little emotion next to anger here? She looks like she's not having a good time.
I'm not quite sure. Very terrible.
I think you mixed up Resident Evil with Inside Out.
That would not be me mixing that up. That would be AI mixing that up. Yeah. Anyways, I also think it would be a lot of fun to have a interactive show, and we're going to have a show called Feeling Check, where everyone can come in and check and see how they're feeling. This is going to be similar to Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, where it's an interactive show. And
except they ask you how you're feeling and put you on the spot.
No, Joy and Sadness are going to be leading the show. They're going to be narrating this show, and they're going to be interacting with the audience. And what's going to be really cool is that the audience will have panels, almost essentially like iPads. And as Joy and Sadness navigate the conversation, they're going to ask questions, like feelings check questions that the audience will answer. Kids will be able to participate and do this as well. They'll be able to answer the questions, and at the end, it'll show them what emotion they're feeling the most. And that will show up on their screen. And then like that's the emotion that they get to take with them for the rest of the day. Or they can choose to leave it behind if it's something like anger.
Anger? All right. Get some anger today.
Speaking of anger, we are going to have...
there better be an anger attraction. It'll be fun.
No, we're going to have the Hangry Cafe, because everybody gets angry when they get hungry. And what do they want? They want food.
Clever.
And so this one is the one that as far as AI images go, so sorry for those that are just listening, but this is the one that I was most excited about because it perfectly pulled up when I literally typed in create an image of a restaurant themed to anger from Pixar Inside Out. What I was envisioning, it is exactly what AI gave me.
Just one shot, you got it.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of red inside of the restaurant. There's gonna be, the dishes are gonna have some heat to them. Some of them will, some of them won't. They're obviously like, we want to be family friendly.
Taste. I thought you were talking about like they put the plates in a plate.
No. There's gonna be like some spice involved in some of the dishes. But I think what would be really cool is to have an animatronic of anger somehow show up inside of the restaurant, almost like
Mr. Potato Heady.
Yes, almost.
Gosh, I'm in your brain.
Mr. Potato Head, how he interacts with people in the queue. Anger would interact with guests that are dining at this location, and just kind of like, it would be fun. It would be just like poking poking fun at them while they're eating, and it would be a fun interactive. It's almost like character dining, but it elevates character dining because you're getting to interact with an animatronic that is actually interacting with you, similar to how Crush will interact with guests in his show, or also while you're eating on some of the Disney Cruise Line ships. That's what Anger would do in this scenario.
All right.
So
it's giving a little elemental.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah, some Ember. And maybe Ember makes a guest appearance
fires.
at some point.
Yeah. That would be a crossover.
Yeah.
Not bad.
But there it is.
I like it.
Inside Out Land.
All right. I think this is good. I think we've got pirates, stunt movies, Guinness, and emotions. I almost threw up as an emotion. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's good. I think you did a really good job actually like displaying your ideas and getting a little view of each of your things, where I kind of just did a lot of like the overall.
No, I mean, you did an incredible job script writing.
Yeah,
you literally
worked hard on those scripts. Yeah. That's where I cashed it in. So all right, cool,
good stuff.
Well,
I don't know what
next.
we have to figure out what we call the park.
Oh.
We'll work on it.
Hold on. No, we got this. We used AI to get us some videos here, or some deals. Let's ask Gemini, what would you name a theme park with lands themed after, and then I'll type all four. What would you name?
This is going to be so interesting. But I do feel like all four of these lands really do capture parts of our personalities. Although the pirate one, maybe not so much for me, but I do think that our creativity is definitely expressed. A lot of people will probably say that I did what Disney is currently doing, where you just take things that already exist and, put them into a theme park, but it's what people like and what people enjoy.
You did. You used a little IP, which is okay. It's okay. And Guinness. Just because it's such an absurd question. I mean, we're going to come up with one. It's creating an image. I didn't ask it to create an image. I asked, what would you name? This is interesting. This is going to be the image of our theme park. Okay.
I think it's probably because you're in Gemini. I think you could phrase that question elsewhere and see what it comes up.
Well, this is interesting. Yeah. It gave me two images because it probably couldn't muster the strength to put them all together.
It doesn't understand how they relate.
It's like, what in the world? Okay, let's think of it.
I don't know. We're
not using AI.
We don't have to come up with a name. I know where you were going before we got into that conversation. You were like, here it is. And that's the question of the week. And you were getting excited because everything with you is a competition and you want to know who wants to go to which lands.
Okay, a little bit. But let's talk about this. We've got 7.5 minutes to get to an hour and a half as per usual. So listen.
One day we'll be less than that one day.
We are right now, but
so we should just wrap it up.
It's just how things work, man. When you get two people together, they tend to talk to each other for a typical amount of time, and about an hour and a half is when I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's think of a name. So we've got pirates, which is here's the problem that I see. We have two lands that are like immersive themed around like a fictitious characters or lands, right? And then we have two lands that are based very much so in reality, if not trying to imitate reality.
I don't think we're going to come up with a name.
Reality check. No, I don't know. I'm thinking the word reality is in my mind. Dual realities. Oh, sounds mysterious. Reality world. No, I need to get off reality. Come on, give me something, man. I'm drowning. I need some help. I need some help here. No. I mean, it's yin and yang is what it is. It's one way, one went the other way. What's our let's think of it like this. What's our hub gonna be? Is it just gonna be a grass lawn?
I literally typed it into ChatGPT and it said the theme park you're referring to is Universal Studios.
Boom.
It's not it. We have Pixar.
TPG Studios.
Yeah. I don't know. I got nothing. It's fine.
What's the hub? Just grass?
Just grass. No.
Are we gonna walk down? Are we gonna walk down Main Street of Bedford, Texas?
No, we'd have to
go to like our park. They got Marceline, Missouri. We got downtown Grapevine.
I don't even know what that looks like. We'd have to develop
the
that
Christmas
together.
capital of America.
Oh wow.
Actually, yeah.
We'd have to. No, that's fine with me. I love Christmas. We'd have to develop that together.
It's always Christmas. There you go. All right, so the hub Main Street is going to be downtown Grapevine, and 365 days a year.
No.
It is Christmas. Whoop whoop.
No.
Let's go.
No, we'll come up with.
No,
something.
that's done. We already did it.
No.
That's it. You love Christmas. My hometown. Match made in heaven.
There you go.
And then to confuse you more, you have Parks Guinness World, Stuntman World, Pirates, and Feelings.
Emotions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what it would be called, but go ahead. Ask your question about.
There could be a Santa Claus meet and greet on Main Street that we always have to stop at if Nick wants to go.
You're gonna meet Mickey with me this weekend at Disneyland, just so you know.
Pass.
So it's happening. Anyways,
Pass. Well, next time you see us, we'll be in Disneyland.
We will.
Next episode, we'll be together.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Let me finish my question of the day.
go right ahead.
Which themed land do you want to go to? I'm just interested. I feel like that's a good. That's like I don't know.
I was
Might have
going to
preference.
suggest that we ask something like, "What would your themed land look like?" Or
And yeah. So
no. Just you've already
which
started.
themed
it.
land would you rather go to, and what would your themed land be?
Yeah.
I expect a full portfolio of AI generated photos, at least 3 ride scripts.
I do think you did a fantastic job with your creativity, as per usual. Not
Yeah.
shocked by any
Thanks.
means. So
But yeah, I thought your Pirates Land was awesome.
thanks. Don't love
I
my
won't be in
inside
Feelings Land much.
Yeah, you're coming on over. We're gonna
walk
make
right
you do
through.
feeling check on a regular basis.
Walk right through. Yeah, I can't imagine ever going on that ride.
That's like my dream.
If you turned to me and we're doing a park day, it's like, you want to go do feeling check? How about no?
I would love that so
We're
much.
not gonna do feeling check. All right. Well, that is all.
Alrighty. Well, that was fun.
Have we finished? Have we decided to sign off? Do we have a
No,
typical
we got nothing.
saying? Huh.
It'll happen for us eventually. Maybe it'll be inspired when we're together this weekend.
Well, let's just call in the band and play the song.
No, we're gonna say see you all really soon. Thanks for listening.
Hit it, band. Turn those amps up.
Goodbye.